The Vanishing Town. In the heart of America, there existed a small town called Ravenswood. It was a quaint little place, surrounded by lush green forests and a meandering river that flowed gently through its center. Ravenswood was home to a close-knit community of about 5,000 residents who lived in harmony with one another. The town had a rich history, dating back to the early 19th century. It was founded by a group of settlers who were attracted to the area's natural beauty and abundant resources. Over the years, Ravenswood grew and prospered, becoming a thriving commercial center with a strong agricultural base. But Ravenswood's fortunes began to change in the early 2000s. It started with small things. A few businesses closed down, some families moved away, and the town's population began to dwindle. At first, no one thought much of it, assuming that the town was simply going through a natural cycle of growth and decline. However, as the years went by, the decline of Ravenswood accelerated. More and more businesses closed their doors. The town's infrastructure began to crumble, and the once thriving community was now on the brink of collapse. It was during this time that Emily, a young resident of Ravenswood, began to notice something strange. She would look at old maps of the town and notice that they no longer showed Ravenswood's existence. She would ask her friends and family about the town's history, but they would seem confused, as if they had never heard of Ravenswood before. Emily was baffled. She knew that Ravenswood was a real place and that it had a rich history, but it seemed as though the town was slowly disappearing from the collective memory of the world. As Emily delved deeper into the mystery, she began to experience strange occurrences. She would find herself in places she had never been before, with no memory of how she got there. She would hear whispers in her ear, urging her to leave Ravenswood and never come back. Despite the strange happenings, Emily was determined to get to the bottom of the mystery. She spent countless hours researching the town's history, talking to old residents, and scouring the internet for any clues. And then, one day, Emily stumbled upon a shocking discovery. She found an old document hidden away in the town's archives that revealed the truth about Ravenswood's disappearance. The document was a memo from a secret government agency detailing a plan to erase Ravenswood from existence. According to the memo, Ravenswood had been chosen as a test site for a new technology that could manipulate reality itself. The technology, known as the Eraser, had the power to remove entire towns and cities from the collective memory of the world. Emily was horrified. She realized that she was the only one who knew the truth about Ravenswood's disappearance. She felt a sense of responsibility to expose the government's secret plan, but she was also aware of the dangers that came with it. As Emily struggled to come to terms with her discovery, she began to experience strange and terrifying occurrences. She would find herself trapped in a never-ending loop of time, reliving the same moments over and over again. She would see shadowy figures lurking in the corners of her mind, watching her every move. And then one day, Emily fell into a deep coma. She was rushed to the hospital, where she lay unconscious for weeks. When Emily finally awoke, she was greeted by a world that was completely unfamiliar to her. The hospital room was empty, except for a single nurse who stood by her bedside. "Where am I?" Emily asked, her voice shaking with fear. "You're in a hospital," the nurse replied. "You've been here for several weeks." Emily's mind was racing. She tried to remember how she got there, but her memories were hazy. "What about Ravenswood?" Emily asked. "What happened to my town?" The nurse looked at her with a confused expression. "I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about," she said. "There is no town called Ravenswood." Emily's heart sank. She realized that she was the only one who remembered Ravenswood. She was the only one who knew the truth about the town's disappearance. As Emily struggled to come to terms with her new reality, she began to experience strange and terrifying occurrences once again. She would see glimpses of Ravenswood out of the corner of her eye, only to have them disappear when she turned to look. She would hear whispers in her ear, urging her to remember the truth about her town. And then, one day, Emily received a mysterious message. It was a simple text sent to her phone from an unknown number. "Remember Ravenswood," the message read. Emily's heart skipped a beat. She knew that she had to uncover the truth about her town's disappearance, no matter the cost. She began to investigate once again, following a trail of clues that